Delayed again. Sounds like Jim and Terry's show. Delayed
again.
Oh yeah, I had family visiting, and they came in August, and then you were on holiday.
I don't know where I was.
I think you went to the X on a Thursday.
I did go to an X on one of the Thursdays.
Okay, so that was another Thursday, and then I had another family member visit, and that took another 2 Thursdays, bookend on ours. Wow, it's been a busy summer.
But you know what? You got to see family and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I got
to see 3 of my children and their wives and my grandkids. I've got to find a way to get out to see Jeremy out there in Calgary. I always feel he's just so busy. You know, like he's a real Westerner, Calgarian. You know, there's just no nonsense down to business. And he's got a son who plays football and.
Wow.
Yeah, and he got injured. His son got injured, so my grandson got injured.
So concerns.
A year out, and he's really good, really good.
So is there hope for recovery? Or?
Yeah, I think there's hope. I think he's recovering faster than normal. He loves to play the game. He's really good at the game. He's still really young.
How old are we talking about?
14.
Okay, so he's in some kind of
He's already
league?
been to Vegas in a tournament.
Really?
And he was trying out for the province. There's like
Excellent.
the province team.
Yes.
And he was trying out for it and he got injured.
So that's where the injury took
And
place.
unfortunately, I think part of the reason he got injured is he had this he's been missing school and everything. I think he's okay now. But he missed the whole first part of school last year, or the end of it, because there was something wrong with his stomach and they couldn't figure out what it was, and he was just in agony.
On top of the football.
On top of that,
injury.
yeah. And and then he went to try out, and I think part of that, he probably got injured partly because his stomach still wasn't completely, so maybe his mind wasn't in the right place. I don't know.
Well, here's a shout out to Jeremy in Calgary.
Yeah.
And
Hi, son.
there you go. Shout out to our family. And I have a daughter in Calgary as well.
Yes. And did she recently get just married?
Got married
saw
a
the
few months
pictures.
ago. So this is a restart of a family again, because she's also expecting in November.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, so there we go. The family's growing, so I'm not worthy to compete with you, Mr. Grandfather, sir, because I will have three grandchildren at that point.
They're wonderful. All of them are wonderful.
We celebrate, as grandfathers, we celebrate each and every one of our grandkids and each and every one of our children's journey in life. And as I look back, I feel incredibly unworthy to be the dad, to be the father.
Yeah.
Because our kids, I don't know about you, but I always feel our kids have transcended beyond what I could do in my life.
Well, considering my messed up marriage world and the rest of it, I'm very, very happy that they seem to be 4 happy families with 14 grandchildren, which is just
unbelievable.
Yeah, and the eldest one's driving and going to university, and
that's
goodness,
amazing. So how do you feel about that as your grandkids launch?
Well, I told you upstairs, which I know this wasn't going to be the subject, but I was at a friend's and I saw my reflection in a dark tinted window. I saw my reflection. I went, holy moly, do you look old? And by the way, in dark tint, you really do look old. But I went, oh man, do you look old? And I was overwhelmed with joy. I just can't tell you. It even extended into the next day. Me being a religious man, I went for a walk, and thank God. I said, I'm an old man now. You know, I'm old, and I'm still.
I made it.
I'm full of life, but I made it to that age because I have a brother who died at 41. I have an older sister that's now has passed away many years ago.
There's perspective.
And a nephew that passed away, a niece that passed away. It's just amazing, and here I am, an old man. So I was genuinely, and it surprised me. Other than bitching about now you're old and you're moaning when you get up from the seat, I was actually said, "Thank you, God. Look at me. I'm old. I made it."
Well, as a non-believer as you are at this point, I'm still overwhelmed by joy and gratitude. It's just not as personal and specific in terms of your religious expression of it. But I get up and I'm thankful for every ache that I feel. And you know that I did my driveway.
Oh, I saw that. Well, you
with
make
an
me
8-inch squeegee.
You make me so grateful that my life got so messed up. So that I don't have this maintenance thing that you got to do. Or always building something.
But you know what? I'm happy doing it for the most part. And yesterday, as you said, I had my own look in the tinted window and see myself old moment, and I am thankful.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. We made it. We had our mugs and clink at
Now,
the coffee
this doesn't
table.
mean any people listening doesn't mean that we're ready to die. I'm not in the mood.
Absolutely
not in the mood to do that.
Got no time for dying.
But it just means that, I made it to an old man. I always viewed myself as a lot younger than that. And I went, wow. And of course, the dark window really makes you look. It really emphasizes every line.
Do you still look in the mirror and see yourself 10, 20 years, 30 years
No,
ago?
I have a rude awakening when I look in the mirror and see myself, but it's not that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even over that, even if I was incredibly old looking, I still am agile. I still can trip and not break a bone. I can still do that.
That may change, my friend.
Well,
So don't go tripping through life.
No, but if you're blessed, that would change, I guess, because you get to the point where you can't do that. It just means you're that longer on the earth. But at this particular point, I'm still getting around. I'm very busy, a human being, and I'm grateful for that.
Glad you clarified that. I thought you were a very busy
in case
alien.
You thought, for a while there, I went through this phase where I identified as a mosquito, trying to get into all of the concerts. To get into the concerts for free. And
oh my goodness, I don't know how we got onto that one.
But that really doesn't do well when you're trying to pick up the girls, eh?
When you're a mosquito?
Yeah.
Where's that old song? You can sing along with it if you know. I wish I was a little mosquito. I wish I was a little mosquito. I'd nippy and a bitey under everybody's nighty. Oh, I wish I was a little mosquito. For the life of me, I could never figure out what a musky, muskytoe, mosquito was, until I saw it in print. And I read the lyrics, and it was mosquito.
Yeah.
And for the sake of the rhythm and the melody, mosquito.
First time I ever heard that song.
Really?
Just now, yeah.
Oh, it was a classic campfire song.
I wish it was an Oscar Mayer wiener, but we don't want to go there.
That's another story. All right. I don't know where we were going with all this stuff.
Well, we were going to talk more about space, but somehow we got to this family
Well, let's
reunion.
talk about things that we do know. I wanted to go back to Boca Chica because there are 2 towers now, and I believe the second tower is taller than the first tower.
I think so. It's taller.
But shorter arms. I like the what about it. Did you see him when he put his hands in his the T-Rex arms? So they've shortened the arms, and
but that is confidence.
Yes.
You haven't even tested the first ones other than lifting up and bringing down. But they wanted to get rid of some of the sway. And I guess when you're moving an arm that's 3 bus lengths long, it's going to sway when it stops. It's going to, it's kind of hard to hold that in place. Cut that in half, you got less to sway. You just have to have the accuracy to bring that down.
Yeah. While Jim was talking about that, I was doing my T-Rex imitation.
Yeah.
Well, the first one was full arms extended, and you get quite a bit of wobble when your arms, and it's hard to control. But if you shorten that, it's a lot easier to control the fine movements. So,
and they're always working on something like that.
Always working. And did you see the size of the buildings now?
Oh, the buildings are huge, and not only that, the stuff they're using to move things around. Like I saw for the first time like an automated little skid with wheels that moved the engines, the motors.
Yes.
And I thought that was clever. Other than having to bring in the whole truck and everything to do it, plop it down on one of these things. It's obviously designed it might even lift up and put it into position. I don't know. But they're developing, and he does hire the best of people. Works them apparently like dogs. I hope they get a good Christmas bonus. But man, they know what they're doing. Look at the motor itself, Terry. Over the last 2 years, went from a spaghetti, and now you look at it and you go, how does that even work?
Yeah, we talked about the way they're, I'm not going to say 3D printing, but I believe they are 3D printing. Correct me if I'm wrong. So a lot of the exterior piping is now within.
It's in it.
It's inside.
And so there's nothing to break outside. And it just looks so clean. And you go, how did you go from that spaghetti mess? Remember all those pipes and everything?
Yeah.
Unbelievable amount of spaghetti mess to that. And then you look at the other companies like Blue Origin and that, they still got the spaghetti mess. SpaceX is so far ahead.
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
unbelievable. I think I made an observation that SpaceX really is the only rocket game on planet Earth.
It really is. Well, Boeing is messing up like crazy, even its airplanes.
They did get the, well, let's put the airplanes on hold and just talk about recovering the crew. They sent up a crew, but they didn't bring them back.
Yeah, they sent up a crew in the Skyliner.
Skyliner.
It's a
right.
Skyliner. Great idea.
Starliner.
Starliner? Is it Starliner?
Well, I don't know. We'll look it up.
Okay,
Keep
well,
going.
it doesn't matter. It's a liner of some kind. And they've been like, this has been in like 10 years in the making, and they just can't seem to. So they got it up there, thank God, and they got the astronauts out, and they're all happy. But they couldn't bring the astronauts back because it's just absolutely bogged down.
Well, they sprung a leak, didn't they?
Yeah, well, the helium. I mean, SpaceX has that helium thing too.
Well, let's celebrate what I just pulled up something. So this is from Quartz magazine. Boeing Starliner finally plopped down in the New Mexico. So it's on land, but it has retro rockets or parachute.
It has parachute
and a retro rocket that slows.
Well, I think because
I don't think you want to slam into the earth.
No, I think it's like I think it lands on the pillows like.
Oh, it's got inflatable cushions?
I think. Well, it landed at night. I can see why they did that.
You don't want to see something go splat.
Yeah. So they landed at night.
And what?
And so what's going to happen now is the crew didn't come back because they didn't believe it was safe.
So they're up there.
And SpaceX is going to rescue them in February.
Dun, dun,
maybe
dun,
March.
Maybe March. And there is a rescue in store. And what about decommissioning the International Space Station? SpaceX is going to rescue them there too?
I think so. They may even be the space
SpaceX,
station.
the only game in town.
Well, they're the only one that can push it out of orbit.
Oh boy.
But you know, they're trying to get that Boeing into this game. They're trying like crazy. Billions of dollars. Billions and billions of dollars.
The Jim and Terry Show, not quite as desperate as Boeing at this point. Well, stay tuned and watch that story. Bye-bye for now.